much a man can tell me, so much he can say.
Dude. We've all got the same fist going, too. That's another shirt. Just all three of us.
Yes, it is.
Pissed.
Yes, everybody.
That's good. Man, I'm excited today.
I'm a little nervous.
Why?
I have no idea what you're having us do this list for.
Well, because it's going to be fun. And
Do you have your 8?
I have 8.
Okay,
Almost
good.
had 9 on accident.
Well, we're going to, man. Yeah, he's recording. Okay, good. Remember that one time we listened to an entire song and it was amazing and he hadn't hit the record button? Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy.
Well, it happens.
That guy.
That one guy.
That guy.
But man, we're going to jump right in because this is
Jump
so cool.
in.
It's going to be great.
What was it? Was it a come on, knock on our door?
Yep.
Right.
And then you do the thing with the ship and the bib and the beeb and the Three's Company too.
I just remember when the kisses are hers and hers are his. Three's companies too.
Right.
Gross. Okay, by the way, before we get started, we have to comment on the hat. Very nice. Little Star Wars reference there.
Oh, yeah. I just not noticed that. That's cool.
Come on, dude. You should know that stuff quicker than I do, business.
Well, I wasn't paying attention to it. I was too busy looking at that, whatever that poster is above your shoulder. Blech.
What, my shoulder?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You talking about Death Cab for Cutie?
Blech.
That's what he's talking about.
Man,
No, it's
dude.
okay.
I get
Well,
I get more compliments from that. I get I lay
That's
more
all right.
pipe than Wabasha Plumbing.
That's right. Oh, that's such a good movie. God dang. Yes.
You mount the girl, son.
Oh my God, that's so
And
good.
if you don't, bring it to me. Bring it to me and I'll mount her for you.
Oh my gosh. 5 strips of bacon.
Then he do.
And he's
I
like,
usually drink my dinner.
I've mounted every woman in Wabasha.
I've laid more pipe than Wabasha Plumbing. Gosh.
Uh-huh.
Whoa.
All right. And on that note,
Yeah, buddy.
Let's do it.
Jamming on the one.
hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the UNT3 podcast, where we bring you, the listener and viewer, all music all the time. I'm your host, Ryan Gerfers, man, with co-host, this guy right over here wearing an amazing hat, right? He didn't even have to have them make it twice. They got it done in one take on the
One
hat
take.
making.
Just,
He's going to get it done.
just like him. One take.
And then I guarantee you this guy tonight on what we're bringing you, Nickelback will be on the list.
How'd you know?
I'm just saying.
Guarantee.
I should have included all the bands I hate.
And Mariah Carey is going to be
Oh
on it.
my
Guarantee.
gosh.
But I tell you what, if you're brand new here, we're 3 best friends. Anytime we get together, we talk music. And sometimes we agree. Most of the times we disagree. But it's all in fun.
Well, let's be accurate. Most of the time, I'm right and y'all
Yeah.
are wrong.
It's okay. Well, tonight,
Wow.
let me tell you something. Fisher's going to be excited because we have no TikTok list tonight. We're not trying to guess the drum, right? Well, we
Or
are
the stage name.
we
or
are
the actual name.
legitimately going to have fun tonight. So here it is.
As
I
opposed
say,
to every other
Right.
episode that we've done.
Then
This
torturing
one is
these
the
guys.
fun one.
This is the fun one, okay? Now, I let you guys know yesterday you needed to put together a list of 8 songs that were #1 hits, right?
Okay.
Any decade, any genre.
Okay.
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 So here's what we're going to do.
Oh.
We're going to each go through our list of 8. No commentary,
Oh,
nothing. We're
okay.
going to read our list, and then I'm going to throw the twist at you.
Oh, geez.
Okay.
All right. Then I'm going to throw the twist. So, Fisher, jump right in. What is your list of 8? Song title and artist, because I'm keeping track.
Song title and artist.
And if you have the year it came out, that would help, but it's not necessary.
Well, all right.
Well,
So
all right.
I have the song in the year. I didn't I figured once I read the songs
Sure.
off, you'd know who the
That's
artist
fine. What do we got?
This is Gerpers, so remember that.
Oh well, he'll know these.
Okay.
Maybe.
All right. So I took my number ones from the only decade that matters, and that's the 90s.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
I'm kidding. Not the
I was
only
gonna say
decade
the
that
80s are
matters,
pretty
but-
badass too, my friend.
But I figured you guys would cover the 80s and before, so I went not as old and went the 90s because let's be honest, anything after the 90s sucks. But my first one off the bat comes from 1990, and it's probably the first number one that I was aware of as a kid, and it's Ice Ice Baby.
Oh,
wow. Nice.
Okay.
So Vanilla Ice, local boy, right? Straight
Yeah.
out of DFW.
Hey.
Oh,
Word to
Mr.
your
Rob
mother.
Van Winkle himself.
Yeah, word to your mother.
Look at him knowing the actual name.
I know, right? Hey, we had a whole episode that discussed stage names. I'm just saying, bruh.
Still our most popular as far as podcasts. Right?
Oh,
Yes. All right. What do we
don't
got
be
next?
a beesh.
From 1991. And there were several I could have picked. I mean, there were obviously many I could pick from each year, but I tried to pick ones that will stand out. And this one I think will, from 1991, Black or White, from Michael Jackson.
Okay.
Right. That one was there for it took up a bunch of 91.
Nice.
This one was pretty much all of 92. There was like this one and maybe 3 or 4 others in 92. So I went ahead and went with End of the Road by Boys to Men.
Nice.
Yep.
Ryan's got the feels, man. He loves that song.
And then 93. This was only a couple of weeks, maybe 3. But out of the ones from 93, I think this one's my favorite. Can't Help Falling in Love by UB40.
Oh, that's great.
Oh.
Great cover. That would be like on the list of greatest covers ever.
I would put that on there.
Yeah.
This one I immediately thought of Joel from 1994.
Okay.
And it's Stay.
Oh, by Lisa Loeb?
Lisa Loeb.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's actually Lisa Loeb and 9 Stories.
Yes.
After that, it was just Lisa Loeb. I absolutely love that track. One of my favorites.
It's a good one.
Lisa
we were listening to this one from 95.
Lisa Loeb, call me if you watch this podcast.
Yeah.
Call me.
Give me a call, baby.
Give me a call. And you're a no, she's not a Dallas person. Anyway, sorry. Go continue.
Are you sure? I'm pretty
Yeah, I
sure
don't.
she's from this area.
Maybe she is.
Someone out there in YouTube land, fact check us.
Yes, fact check us.
We were
But call me
listening to
either
this
way.
one in the intro from 1995. Kiss from a Rose by Seal. We were just listening to it.
What was he doing in that house?
And then what was he doing in that house? From 1996, Don't Speak.
Yeah, no doubt,
from,
man.
Our good friends in No Doubt. Yeah.
Also a featured
And then
artist.
finally, this one has Joel written all over it. Yeah, also a featured artist. I don't, if it was not for this song, I don't think there'd be a podcast because I don't think Joel and I would be friends. We would.
Oh,
I
this
wouldn't
has to
have
be
had anything to say
Hanson.
to him in that line for spaghetti at the B.
Yep.
And it's Mbop 97 from Hanson.
That is
There's
true.
my list of 8 number one.
Okay.
And I looked at number 1 hits from 98 and 99, and I didn't feel like adding Britney Spears or any of those boy bands to the list. So there you go. There's my list of number ones.
Nice.
Okay. This is going to be really fun because
Oh,
I'm actually kind of really excited to see how different Joel's list is.
Yeah, we did not repeat.
I put that list together 2 minutes before we went on air. So
there you go.
minutes
Nice.
of preparation.
Nice. Minutes of preparation.
Preparation H.
The only commentary I'm going to make is on one song as I read it, but our list is completely different, and we did not cross over anything. So
As well it should be.
okay, first track for me is Ray Charles, "Georgia on My Mind" from 1960.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's such a good song.
It is a great song. My next song is by the Beatles, and this is Ticket to Ride from 1965.
Okay.
Okay. Nice.
This next track is Pink Floyd's Another Brick in the Wall from 1980.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Okay.
That was a number one hit.
That was the number.
It
It was a hit
was.
for a week, according to Billboard's Top 100.
There you go.
The next track, as you can see, my list is a little all over the place. Jump by Van Halen.
Yes.
And that was recorded in 1984, and it was number one in 1984. From the album 1984.
1984.
Okay, this is the only one that I put on there with intention because I came across it on accident, and I was like, I had to add this. I was getting my hair cut, and I heard this song. So, Walk Like an Egyptian by the Bangles from 1987, which I don't think would be culturally appropriately if it was released today.
Why not?
Because the whole video is them imitating what Egyptians walk like.
It's okay.
Be racist.
I know, so bad.
Racist.
Okay. The next song. And this is where I get the eye rolls from at least one of y'all. I Just Died in Your Arms Tonight.
What do you
Cutting
mean eye
Crew.
rolls? That's an amazing song.
Also by Cutting Crew, also released in 1987.
Yep.
And then to represent the hair metal band, Every Rose Has Its Thorns by Poison, released in
That's an eye
1989.
roll.
When was that one released?
1989.
1989. Okay.
Okay. And the ultimate cheese, the song that you want to sing to the ladies to woo them if you were in a hair metal band. This is actually, why don't y'all guess? If you had to pick the hair metal song to woo the ladies, it's
More Than Words.
More Than Words, 1991
buddy.
by the band Extreme. It's a song
Nice.
about getting her in bed, but for some reason, it's played at weddings.
Nice. All
It's
right.
More Than Words, man. More
Hey,
than words.
that's all you have to do. Just say it's real. Then
Yeah.
you never have to say
All right.
because you
So-
love me.
So here we go. This is why. Here we go. My 8. This is why all three of us are friends.
Okay.
Okay.
This is
My-
why. This is the
My
only.
list. Here's the interesting thing. We only have off my list 2 songs that are repeats.
Ooh.
I repeat one song off of Christian's and one song off of Joel's.
Oh,
So
we're
the first
best
repeat
friends.
is End of the Road, Boys to Men, and Another Brick in the Wall, Pink Floyd.
Nice.
Okay. So now,
Those are not the 2 that I would have picked that would have been repeats.
You know what's funny about it is the only reason I put Another Brick in the Wall was for Ryan, because he always talks about Pink Floyd. That was one of the
you
3.
should have known I was going to put a Pink Floyd song on.
I had no clue,
Now,
but we do
Here we
now.
go.
Okay.
1987.
Okay.
Completely different genre. And now keep in mind, this artist had 60 number 1 hits.
Okay.
That's a lot.
60. And the thing is I couldn't pick, so I grab bagged one. We're going 1987 George Strait, Oceanfront Property.
He had 60 number 1 hits.
Yes.
Damn.
Not,
I only had that one
not
greatest hits
country number
album.
ones, but number 1 hit, like Billboard number 1s.
Like this guy, he's one of his greatest hit albums. It's called George Strait's 50, and it's like 51s, or it's like 50 of his number 1 hits.
Wow. That makes me feel really bad for the cheap greatest hits I have that only has like 10 songs on it.
So
I was totally underestimating him this whole time.
now I got another one. Another one here. 1994. One of their it's their only number 1 hit. Going with Alice in Chains, No Excuses. All right. Now,
Featured artist from last week.
1983. Toto's Africa.
Woo.
Word.
Woo.
Okay.
That's a barn burner.
Now, here's where I go. Here's where the eye roll comes in from this guy right here in the hat. The guy with the hat.
The guy with the hat.
2015.
Oh,
Bruno Mars, Uptown Funk.
I like it. It's a great song.
I feel that there's got to be a little representation. Now, here we
Speaking
go.
of, he's only like 5'2", so he really is a little representation.
Okay, my last two, which are out, in all honesty, probably my two favorite on this list.
Okay, let's do it.
From 1985, Tears for Fears, Everybody Wants to Rule the World.
Good choice.
And this tune right here, 1986, Peter Gabriel, Sledgehammer.
Oh, another good choice.
There it is.
Wait, before you go, can we just commend Gurfers on his list? That was
It's a pretty.
That was a
good
pretty-
list.
Now, here's the curveball.
oh god.
We have 24 total songs right now.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Each one of us has to whittle this down, and you got to cut your list in half. We are creating our own #1 compilation album.
Ooh.
Word.
We're creating our own #1 compilation album, but you have to cut your list in half. You can only pick 4, and then that's our album. Woo! That's tough right there, boy.
Yikes.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so
The curveball.
here we go.
I think okay. I've already right off the bat, the first two I knocked off were Black or White and Mbop.
Okay.
Those are the
You
first two.
son of
Son of a
a
bitch.
you,
son
you
of a
dirty
bitch.
rat. You son of a bitch.
All right, Nick. Those are the first two. I'm thinking about End of the Road just because it's on your list as well, Ryan.
But I may strike it. That's the thing.
The plot thickens.
That's where it's hard. That's what she said.
Beat me to it. Again, what she said. If you're gonna axe it off your list, I'll keep it.
I'll be honest with you. I'm probably taking it off.
Okay, I'll keep it.
I'm so glad I didn't go with my favorite songs. I'm glad I went real random on mine. Okay, I got my 4 songs. You ready?
Nice. Not yet. Hang on. Because I still have to axe 1 off of mine. And God dog it, it's hard. That's what she said.
God dog
Seal.
it.
Sorry, Seal, you're gone.
Gosh dog it. I really hope that's really what you've heard before. Gosh dog it, it's hard.
You know what would have made this more interesting is if I took 4 off of Joel's, Joel took 4 off of yours, and you took 4 off of mine.
Yeah.
That would be interesting. Well, maybe we'll redo
Maybe
it
next
next
time.
time. Yeah.
Well, so what I'm thinking for this is in the future, we can create an all 80s #1 album, an all 90s, and then we can change. We can even narrow it down as far as rock, R&B, country, whatever. The sky is the limit.
Let's do it. Let's do it to it.
Damn
All
it.
right.
Okay.
Now it's between stay and don't speak.
You got to. I can't influence you, but you know which one I would keep.
Yeah. Which one would you keep, Ryan?
Which one? Say him again.
Stay or don't speak.
Which one? Okay. I would. Yeah. Golly.
Oh,
The
just
nostalgia
do it.
The nostalgia in me wants to keep stay. But golly, Don't Speak such a good song.
It is, isn't it?
Keep Don't Speak, because that's yeah. There you go.
I knew
You dirty rat.
I knew that.
You son of a bitch.
Okay. Because I cut Mbop, I'm gonna cut Don't Speak.
There you go.
So Joel will
So you're gonna
I've
keep
got-
stay?
I'm gonna keep stay.
Oh, you're my favorite now.
Okay, so Joel, you got yours in
Yep.
first. What 4 are you keeping?
Okay.
This is now everybody listening and watching. We are giving you the track list to our #1 hits album.
Okay, I'm gonna go reverse order just for the fun of it. I just died in your arms tonight. Made the cut.
Okay.
Yes, it did.
Cutting crew, get it? They made the cut.
Okay, what
Bad
else?
Joke.
The Beatles' Ticket to Ride has made the cut.
Yes. Okay.
Ray Charles, Georgia on My Mind has
Mhm.
made the cut. And filling in the last slot, Pink Floyd, Another Brick in the Wall has made the cut.
Nice.
Right on.
Okay. Fisher, what you got?
All right. I'll do reverse order as well. All right. So the first one that I'm keeping is Stay,
Mm.
Okay.
right? From 94.
Yes.
Right. You'll see a pattern here. Then Can't Help Falling in Love from 93.
Okay.
End of the Road from 92.
Yep.
And then Ice Ice Baby from 90.
Oh.
Oh,
Whoa.
nice.
Okay. Man.
There
All
you
right.
go. I can't believe Ice Ice Baby made it over some of the other options in your good list.
So
Kiss from a Rose, Don't Speak, and Bop.
Yeah, dude. Kiss from a Rose is that's a bad A song, dude. You
It
want
is
some
a bad A song.
you want
but
some love making, dude. That's it, Kiss from a Rose, baby.
here's
I'll
mine.
kiss that rose.
Can't Help Falling in Love.
That's a great song too.
Oh,
So here are my
That's
four.
great.
In no particular order. We're going to keep Mr. George Strait himself on there with Oceanfront Property.
Oh gosh, such a great song.
It's
That was a
such a
no-brainer.
good
That was
tune,
that's
right? From his front porch, you can see the sea, right?
one of the biggest FU songs that doesn't sound like an FU song. You know what I mean?
He's got it. He's got that property in Arizona, and from his front porch, you can see the sea. And if you buy that, he's going to throw the Golden Gate in free. Come on, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now we'll go Africa, Toto.
Oh,
Mm-hmm. And then Tears for Fears has to be on this album.
has to be.
Everybody Wants to Rule the World. And then I'm sorry, my favorite song on this entire album, Peter Gabriel Sledgehammer, has to be on the
That's a
album.
good one.
Dude, your list I need to smoke a cigarette afterwards. That's a good four. That's a good four. It's just
And here's the deal. I out of everything that we've ever done on this show, a lot of the times you guys are like, dude, this was really difficult and it was hard narrowing this down and blah, blah, blah. For me, holy crap, I almost didn't make it out of the 80s when I was looking up these songs. Like, no joke, I had written down at least 12 songs and I was only stuck in the 80s. I'm like, no, I've got to go back and redo more.
That's why I made the decision to only stay in the 90s. And the list I looked at first, because I'm looking at another one. I was like, oh, why wasn't this on my list? Like,
it's one of those things, man.
I did the top airplay, like which one's got the most airplay. So of course they're all pop hits, right?
Yeah.
But like I'm looking at this, I could have done Gonna Make You Sweat.
So let me do this before we go on.
Joyride by Roxette.
Dude, love it. Must
Throw in
have been love.
I'm gonna throw y'all one more curveball.
Justify My Love.
Dude, Madonna.
Here's one more curveball.
Okay.
Out of all of the songs that got axed, there were 12 songs that got axed. We collectively can bring one as a bonus track.
Okay.
We can bring one of those 12 back.
I've got two that are
as a bonus track. Now, not each. All three of us has to agree on one track.
Okay. Well, I will say of the four that I axed, there's not one on there that from my list. So remind me what the four were on yours.
Mine.
Or who are you talking to? Me or Ryan?
Either one.
All right, you go first, Ryan.
All right. Mine is Uptown Funk.
Okay.
End of the Road.
Okay.
No Excuses. And
it can't be End of the Road because I've already.
Oh, that's right. So for me, the only two to choose from, because Joel, you put Another Brick in the Wall on there. So for me, then it's the only two are Uptown Funk and No Excuses.
Okay, so of those two, I would say No Excuses. Now, Fisher, what's your list?
So we're 2 total, right?
What do you mean?
2 total bonus tracks.
No, we get
No,
one bonus track. That's
one
it.
bonus
One
track.
bonus track. Okay.
He only had 2 that we could choose
I only
from.
had 2 to choose from
I
because
have
the
2 to
other
choose
2 that
from
got
as well.
axed.
Okay.
I have
So-
2 to choose from as well. Kiss from a Rose and Mbop.
Whoa.
Coming with the heat, baby.
I'm going to say only because I've been in a very nostalgic mood since
Both of those
Ryan
songs are-
Gerfers has like ruined me this last week. I'm going to say at this moment, and it's hard for me to say that, is I'm going to say No Excuses. Alice in
No
Chains.
excuses.
Okay.
I'm good with that. I'm good with that.
Well, there it is. There's the bonus track.
Okay,
Because
so
it's either that or Kiss from a Rose. It's one of those two. Because I like Mbop, but that's a you and I moment. That's not
Right.
really. It's an amazing song.
It's you and me, but okay.
Wow.
What are the 12 official tracks? I've got Ice Ice Baby, Into the Road, Can't Help Fall in Love, Stay. Those are my 4. What were the 4 from Joel?
Ray Charles, Georgia on My Mind, Ticket to Ride, Beatles, Another Brick in the Wall, Pink Floyd, and I Just Died in Your Arms Tonight. Must have been something you said.
And then mine were Everybody Wants to Rule the World, Sledgehammer, Africa, and Oceanfront Property.
Dude, Brian's list, man. Damn.
Okay, so
Jeez.
no.
I'm just
excuses
super
makes sense
impressed, man.
Because really, the only rock representation that's on the list right now is Another Brick in the Wall. So No Excuses is a good bonus track.
Yeah, it
Cool.
is.
Done.
Okay. Done,
Yes.
son.
A very eclectic album.
It
of
is.
So
greatest hits.
editing team will put this track listing up on the video somewhere. And then, man,
on both sides of Ryan.
do it.
It's the 2 sides of the album because
Okay, we'll do
we're
it.
pressing this in vinyl. Damn it!
And I'm gonna put this damn thing like actually down as a freaking. If CDs were still a thing, I'd burn a CD.
Oh,
I'm sure you can find CDs.
I'm
at
sure.
Best
I
Buy.
thought your little device you bought burned CDs too.
I don't know. I'd have.
I
to
think
look.
it does. I'd be
But
surprised if
man,
it didn't.
That was fun.
Be of a painful episode to listen to. Jeez.
That was good. Now we're
Dude,
gonna
did
go
you
on.
know Here Comes the Hot Stepper was a #1 hit?
Oh yeah.
Man, that so would have been on my list.
We are about to move on to our featured artist. Now,
You know what I love about Fisher Gerfers?
what?
There's many things, but the thing that I love about him is, as much as I have him figured out, sometimes every once in a while he throws a curveball like, man, Here Comes the High Steppers would be on my list, which literally would be the last thing I think you'd say.
Well, how about this one? If I'd have seen this when I was making my list, No Diggity would have been on my list.
Yeah, that's a but you also
my-
DJ, so that makes sense. That's a bad A track.
Or
The-
Hypnotize.
Oh,
A Biggie.
Yeah.
The best part about this is we can make as many albums as we want going forward.
Truly,
Yeah.
Madly, Deeply.
This will be so great.
Speaking
Now,
of whoopee songs,
here we go.
man, I want to
Featured
truly madly
artist.
get it on now.
Whoa.
I'm going to give you some stats and then I'm going to hit play. Over 2.3 million albums sold worldwide.
Okay.
How
10
many?
2.3.
2.3.
That's not much.
Okay. 10
Gotta be
studio
someone recent.
10 studio albums,
Nope.
5 EPs,
Okay.
32 singles, 9 music videos, 2 DVDs, a digital album, and a demo tape. I'm going to hit play.
2.3 million albums.
Yes.
Okay.
Come on, computer.
You sharing
hit-
sound? Okay, you're
I
sharing
am. I
sound.
hit the play. My computer's being lame.
Oh,
Dude, Smooth by Rob Thomas.
Come on, bruh. Why is my computer being
By
this way?
Amos by
Here we
Enrique
go.
Iglesias.
oh God.
Why is it doing that? All right, so we're having some technical difficulties here.
Well, if you want, you can tell me the artist, and I'll see if I can play it. You can
No,
sing
it's
along.
okay. I got
no
you.
scrubs.
No
Here we go.
Scrubs. That's an awesome.
Gotta spend some time, love. Gotta spend some time with me, and I know that you'll find love. I will possess your heart. You gotta spend some time, love. You gotta spend some time with me, and I know that you'll find love. I will possess your heart.
Piano in the background.
There are days when outside your window.
Oh,
All right, so I figured
wow.
we had an all Metallica episode for Fisher.
Oh, geez.
Last week, we were all excited about Alice in Chains, but really, dude, Alice in Chains was great.
That was a great episode. Yeah.
It's only fair that Joel gets his featured artist. So
well,
Joel,
I mean,
I'm gonna stop sharing my sound because Joel, I'm gonna let you kind of take the wheel when it comes to playing clips. But Joel, let us know who that is that's out of Bellingham, Washington, formed in 1997.
Well, I feel bad that I made a comment about them only selling 2.3 million albums now.
That's why I was like, okay, well, he's gonna eat that in a minute.
Well, and that is my favorite band, also pictured behind me. That is Death Cab for Cutie, man. That's
right.
That is special stuff right there. So
now, go ahead.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but the lead singer from Death Cab, he's also he's one half of. I want to make sure I get this band correct because I like this band. He's one half of Broken Bells. Am I correct in saying that?
No, he's not in Broken Bells. That's the guy from the band that Gerfer says he knows who they are.
The Shins.
That's the Shins. It's the Shins, and then
I figured
DJ Danger Mouse, if I remember correctly.
Right. I thought I couldn't remember if it was the Shins, the lead singer from the Shins, or the guy from Death Cab.
Yeah. So
you know, they sound so much alike.
So the band that he actually the band that he was in was the Postal Service with Jenny Lewis and
was he in the Postal Service before Death Cab or after Death Cab?
It was during. It was like, so he was in Death Cab and then they took like a break and he recorded that.
Now, Joel, since this is your favorite band, let everybody listening know who the members are of this band.
Oh man, you're gonna have to put me on the spot. So the original members, you have Ben Gibbard, who was he's the lead singer. But then after that, you have Nick Hammer, who plays bass, and he's about Anna's height.
Okay.
And you have Jason McGurr, who is not actually the original drummer, but he's really the one who kind of took over after their first album and really kind of turned their sound into what it is. And then you actually had Chris Walla, who was up with them until their last two albums. And Chris Walla basically, he was a guitar player, but he also played other instruments. But the big thing that he did was he produced all their early albums. So if you listen to Facts, if you listen to some of the Photo album, like all those Transatlanticism, all those early albums, he produced all those. And then he actually runs his own studio up in Washington as well, or in Seattle, if I remember correctly, but it is in Washington. But he left the group and was replaced by Dave Depper, who plays guitar mainly, and then also Zach Ray, who actually looks a lot like you, Ryan. He's got the beard and all that other stuff, and he plays keyboards. Whereas before, Ben Gibbard would do vocals, guitar, and then he would also do keys. Now Ben Gibbard mainly just does vocals and guitar. So
there you go.
But anyway, that's
I'll say this: trying to find a song to queue up for you was very painful. I was like, okay, let me look up these songs. And I remembered that one that I just played. All the other stuff that I looked up, which I don't have written down, I was like,
yeah. So well, okay. Well, since since you've brought up, I'm going to play the first song that I ever heard from Death Cab for Cutie. It's a song called Title Track off the album, which is my favorite album by them, which is We Have the Facts and We're Voting Yes. I can't tell you how excited I am about this episode.
I knew you would be.
So I just hope I have everything queued up correctly. Oh, y'all can't hear that, can y'all?
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Cool.
Now we cannot.
You can't hear it now?
Nope.
No, what'd you do?
I put it so I could actually listen to it.
Well, you
Well,
selfish son of a bitch. Now we can't. There it is.
Here, I got to be able to hear it with you guys. If we're gonna do this, I need to be able to hear it. Actually, we'll just play it. So this is what I like about this track coming up right now. Anyway, that's title track off of We Had the Facts and We're Voting Yes. And that's the first thing I'd ever heard by them. And I was just like, this is like the greatest thing. I was actually in Mineral Wells with, we did a show there. And I was introduced to this album, and I was introduced to, the band out at the drive-in from El Paso. I was introduced to both those albums, which today are still two of my favorite albums. Sitting in the car with Ezra Boggs at an ear splitting, because if you've ever hung out with Ezra, he listens to music super loud, and it was just amazing.
He's deaf.
This is true. So what do y'all think? I mean, this is like incredible stuff. I just feel like y'all are just gonna be checking out. So you like
no, okay, so what Death Cab does for me, what it makes me think of is in the early 2000s, being in the early 2000s, going to a place not unlike Dada, right? Going to the back out in the stage they had out back with the garden lights and everything, and just that's the kind of music that obviously was prevalent, very prevalent at that time, with bands like the Decemberists and and Minus the Bear and things like that. Yeah, Minus the Bear. Go check
Minus the Bear is great.
Right.
And also Copeland came out at that time as well. They all had that kind of sound, and it was like an answer.
Fire Theft, things like that.
The Fire Theft. Yeah, it was an answer to kind of the more heavier versions of those bands, because you had the kind of emo scene that came out around that time as well. And this was like really, like when you listen to his lyrics, especially early on, like the imagery that he would use was just like so incredible to me, because I'm not a lyric guy. But for whatever reason, it spoke to me. And so like on that one, when he's talking about like the image of the room and, the smells and the feels, and like there's another one where he talks about going to a wedding and he sees the figures on the wedding cake and what it represents and all this other stuff. And or he has this other one about a girl that he's attracted to, and it's like, you don't know what he's talking about, but he can see her undergarments through her clothes. Like he just has this really weird way of telling stories. I think he's kind of softened as he's gotten earlier, which is fine, but it just really spoke to me.
Death Cab for Cutie, not them specifically, but their style of music, their recording, whatnot. It's very reminiscent of being in Denton in the late '90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
Right. That was the music scene that we were all
Oh yeah.
kind of involved in.
Yeah.
This is obviously, Ryan, before we met you.
Sure.
And so when I hear Death Cab for Cutie, that's kind of what I know it's not a like for like, but I think of bands like Iron and Wine and things like it's just that whole scene, that Northwest,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
that Pacific Northwest scene, not Seattle, not the Seattle grunge scene, right? Mind you, but kind of like that's what was birthed out of the Seattle grunge scene.
Yeah. It's like everybody got kind of tired of the loud, rock, stardom kind of thing that happened, and then they kind of had this real introspective look, and all the music, like Iron and Wine particularly, is a great example because it was so raw, and it was so organic, and it was like you listen to Death Cab's first album versus what you hear off their last album, which we did a first listen couple weeks ago.
That disappointed you so much.
Oh my gosh. I don't even want, what's funny is I actually walked out of my office today thinking, I still don't like that album. Like I still, and it bugs me, but like their early stuff, even their previous album to the last one was so good. But it was so produced now, like, which is fine. I'm not upset about it, but like you listen to their early stuff and it's like, it's so raw, like you feel like you're sitting in their room watching them record. So I'm gonna share something off of an album called the Photo Album. This is actually one of my favorite songs. I'm actually gonna play the stuff that I like, not necessarily the stuff that's popular.
There you go.
But this is a song called Styrofoam Plates, and what I want to do is I want to play the beginning, but I also want to play the very end because the reason I like this song is when I was going through a real tough time, it's a very dark story. And it's basically about them burying his, in the song, a father figure. But at the very end, they have this really gnarly, like, moment, and then it's met by these really happy, like, la, 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 la. And it's like, it's such a juxtaposition to what the lyrical content's about. So I'm just going to go ahead and play a little bit of that. Let me know if you can still hear this. Can you hear that? Dang it. Okay, hold on. I hate this. Okay, y'all are just going to get the good sound. So here we go. I don't know why it's doing that. Here we go. I wasn't prepared.
There you go.
Yeah, I got you.
Jar of your ashes, I threw them to sea, but a gust blew them backwards, and the sting in my eyes that you then inflicted was par for the course, just as when you were living. It's no stretch to say you were not quite a father, but the donor of seeds to a poor single mother that would raise us alone. We never saw the money that went down your throat through the hole in your belly.
Okay, so anyway, that's how the song starts off. It's super dark. Okay, so I'm going to try to fast forward it to the ending. Oh man, this is one of my favorite parts.
Dude, that bass is loud.
Anyway, like I said, like when I hear this stuff, it just reminds me of like just the lyrical content, the image of them throwing out his ashes and it blowing back in their face. And it's just a reminder of even when they're trying to do something good for him, he still bites them back. It's just, like I said, it's such a dark, It's such a dark image. But for me, when I listened to it, it was like, you know, just the idea, like he gets me, like it's okay to get this stuff out and to, relate to somebody musically. And then you have this healthy outlet as opposed to just keeping some of that stuff inside. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
And it's no secret that I'm not a fan of Death Cab, but that little bit that you just played, that song, like I really kind of enjoyed that.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I actually really kind of liked that.
Oh, well, that means that whole album is just really cool. So, okay, so
But then, hang on. But before you go, when you talked about how like the image of them throwing the ashes and it blowing back in his face made me think about when we watched Big Lebowski. So
what specifically about Big Lebowski?
So have you seen it? You've seen it, right?
Yeah.
So when their friend Donnie dies and they have him cremated and they can't even afford like the $200 urn, that this is our most modestly priced receptacle. They put him in a Folgers can and then they take him to the ocean cliff and they go to do his ashes and the wind blows it all back over the dude. That made me think of that scene.
Oh my gosh, it's so great. And yeah, and he's all and
Everything's a disaster with you, man.
My
Such a good movie.
favorite scene from that movie is when he's sitting in the police chief's office. He throws the glass at What the fuck's wrong with you, man?
Oh, that's such a good movie. And here's the thing that blew
It's an overrated movie, but yes, it's good.
But here's the thing about it is I just knew for a fact that this man had seen that movie before.
Nope.
And he had never seen it. And I was like, sit down, we're putting it on now.
Oh yeah, we took a break from David Gilmour to watch it, and it was definitely worth it. But anyway, that being said, I'm gonna play just a few more tracks that I absolutely love. My favorite album next to Facts is Transatlanticism. And I have told from the moment I heard the song, the title track, that's what I want played at my funeral. One, because it's like almost 8 minutes long, and I think that'd be hilarious to make everybody listen to it, including Ryan, who will probably outlive me because he's so young.
Hopefully I'll be dead.
Here's the thing about this song. When I was trying to queue up a song to play, this was the first one that I listened to before tonight. And I sat through about 3.5 minutes of it. And I was like, I can't do this shit anymore.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Well, luckily for you, I'm not playing that song. I'm playing this one.
There's a tear in the fabric of your favorite dress, and I'm sneaking glances.
This is definitely slit your wrist music.
You're welcome.
What's wrong with you?
You want a list?
You need therapy, Joel.
I probably do, actually. I am the older brother that's not settling down, so. Okay, I just, like I said, I absolutely love that song. I don't know why, it sticks in my head. Okay, so when Ireland Was Born, the album Plans came out, and when you purchased it, you had two versions. You could get just the regular version, or you could get the one that actually has videos that go along with it. Now, there is songs off this one that literally are slit your wrist songs. Like one is who's gonna watch you when you die, basically in the hospital. So I'll skip that one. However, this is one of Ireland's favorite songs, and it's off the album Plans.
It was 100 degrees as we sat beneath a willow tree whose tears didn't care. They just hung in the air and refused to fall. And I knew
like that progression.
Yeah, it's so good. I mean, I love the guitar part right here. It's just scratching. It's so cool, man. Anyway, so as you can tell, like as they started to get kind of bigger and better, like they, you know, the songs were catchy and stuff, but yet the production starts to sound better after the album. When they did You Can Play These Songs with chords and stuff like photo album with Transatlanticism is really when they kind of really kind of came into their own. So I'm going to play one more song. This is off an album that was released in 2018. It's off the album Thank You for Today. They've released another one since then. This is the album that I stopped. I just can't get into the last album. It's just terrible for me. But Ryan, before I play this, I just want to say thank you for letting me torture y'all just for a little bit. This is
my favorite thing about this band though is when I won those tickets and we got to meet them. And isn't that where you got that poster from?
Yeah, so the poster's actually signed, and then
yeah.
I made Ryan no, we met there. I forgot that. We met there. But I stopped by the record store and picked
we
up.
We rode together because I went to the record store.
That's right. Okay, I thought you went with me. Okay, but we picked up the record, and it was the only one that they had. And when I got there, they told me that they wouldn't sign anything other than the posters. And
I'll never forget that guy was like, "You can't do their number." And I'm like, "Damn, dude." Okay.
I do also like that their bus, where they put the band name at the top of their bus, like, you know, the old school. There said Slayer.
For whatever reason, like there were only a select few of us that had those backstage passes like that too. And for whatever reason, Christian, none of us were allowed to actually hand them anything to sign. It was like, here's the poster that they're giving you. Take this and be happy. And then I think you got to take a picture with them. Didn't you?
We got to take a picture. And unfortunately, you had to like put in a name and a number, and you had to call this person and, you know, high five them and all this other stuff. But anyway, I'm gonna play one more song. Like I said, this is off their second to last album. You know, it's nice when you have a band that it's hard to pick songs. I know Fisher, when he was doing Metallica, it's hard to pick one song. Especially like there's 10 albums, and I only played songs off like 5 of them. But you know, go check them out. You know, I'll Follow You in the Dark is a big hit. Soul Meets Body is a hit. The one that Ryan played, I Will Possess Your Heart. I mean, those are all kind of like the big hits that they've had. But I'm gonna play a song.
Let's do it.
Stars are cracks in the ceiling at night.
Anyway, that is Death Cab for Cutie. Also, check out the Postal Service if you like music like this. Postal Service is a lot bouncier and happier than this, to be honest. Well, it is. I mean, it's
Sucks.
techno-y and everything. So, but if you want to check that out, it's got Jenny Lewis, who was in Rilo Kiley, but she was also the redhead in Troop Beverly Hills from the 80s. But seriously, like, this is a great band. Go check them out. Great live. So
All right.
thanks, Ryan, for letting me
Yeah.
torch. I mean, it was funny because every time a song would play, I could see y'all be like,
Well,
I will say this, even though I walked out of the concert in a mellow mood, I'll just say that.
yeah,
The concert that I went to with you in Grand Prairie so long ago,
Yeah.
it was a really good, and it was really interesting the just the difference between just the stark difference between the opening act Franz Ferdinand
yeah.
and them, right? So I appreciated that. That was a good concert. I couldn't tell you any of the things they played that night.
Yeah, I
Um,
just remember it was very, when I saw them, the first time I saw them was at the Granada. And I remember seeing them, and it was a very like band shows up, puts up their gear, plays the show, needs help getting
that's
it to
pretty
the
much what
vehicles.
it was like.
Yeah, and
Right.
then when we saw them with Franz Ferdinand, they actually had, I'd seen them a couple times, since that. And then Franz Ferdinand, it was like they had the whole thing with the house, and the house would light up and it moved, and it was like way more theatrical than I was expecting. And then the next time I saw them, it's like they went back to
Yeah.
you know, what they were used to, which was, just being a band that played songs and but yeah, it's good stuff. But yeah, like I said, the other stuff is a lot more upbeat. Postal Service is a lot more upbeat. So if
Yeah.
you like his vocals and his music, but you like a little bit more upbeat music, that's definitely something to check out.
So
homie.
before we move on, do you know? Because I don't know the answer to this. I'm
Sure.
legitimately asking. What does the name mean?
I'm
Death
so
Cab
glad you
for
asked.
Cutie. What does that mean?
So I actually know this.
Okay.
So if you watch, there's a movie by the Beatles called The Magical Mystery Tour. And if you don't know anything about it, it basically, when the Beatles signed their contract, they had to do so many movies as part of their recording contract. So that's why you have Help and A Hard Day's Night and stuff like that, and Yellow Submarine. But they had the great idea, instead of paying someone to make a movie because it came out of their pocket to do that, they wanted to just take the money and then they would produce their own movie. So they thought, hey, let's get on a bus, let's film some stuff and see what happens. Well, it ended up being terrible. But one of the scenes in that movie, they're acting as like they're waiters at a restaurant and they're, serving people. Well, there's a band playing. And while they're playing it, they're singing this like garbled lyrics and stuff. But if you watch the commentary with if you watch it with the subtitles, one of the words or phrases, I think it's John Lennon or one of the whoever's singing sings. It says blah blah blah, Death Cab for Cutie, and then it goes on to other rambly mess. And so that's where they got their name, was from that subtitle where it said
Word, homie.
So
Interesting.
yeah. So
Nice.
anyway, it's just an interesting thing. So
Well, there you go.
but
Nice.
good times, yeah.
If you're into artsy fartsy music, listen to that.
Yeah, there you go.
It's no George Strait or Garth Brooks or Tracy Lawrence by any means, but I do think they're an important
it's okay.
band to the musical landscape, and I think that that's what makes our group so much fun. Is we like so many different genres of music, and we're so inspired by so many. Like Alice in Chains is something that we get unified on, but then something like Death Cab that divides us, and it's okay. Well, it's what makes the world go round.
Yes, it does.
And then Tupac brings us all back together.
Nice.
It all comes back to Tupac.
That's
it all
right.
comes back to Tupac. So Who's doing the first listen? Is
I got
Fisher?
it.
Okay, I
got
thought
it.
you had it. So
Yeah.
I'll do it. Okay, I'm torn. Do I play this song or do I play something that I just mentioned to kind of keep it in the
you play
theme?
something that was just mentioned. Keep in the same vein, my friend.
Okay, I'll keep it in the same vein. And
I'm gonna say you pay the bills in your house. You do what you want.
I pay half the bills, but okay. I'm gonna play something from a band that I mentioned a few minutes ago. And I'm gonna play so Burns, this one's for you because he's the one who introduced me to this band. I actually got to see them live in Houston in this little hole in the wall place that's probably not even there anymore. But I'm gonna play something from Minus the Bear.
Yes.
And the name of the song is Pachuca Sunrise. It's off their Menos El Oso album.
Which is considered one of their best ones.
Right. So here you go. Oh, I should probably share my sound before I do that, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you could be like me and just not, not to hear
Just
anything at all.
not hear anything at all. Yeah. All right. Here. Make sure the volume's up. Here we go. Oh shoot.
Midnight on the beach in the Mediterranean, and I miss you. Even here, taking it all in. The sand silver carries the moon on his shoulders. Is it possible to put this night to tune and move it to you? Don't cry, I'll bring this home to you if I can make this night light enough. Don't cry, I'll bring this home to you. Cargo ships move by, tracing on the horizon line. There's a luster from the city lights on the waves that kiss our feet, and we're thinking of going in. The time's getting thin. Don't cry, I'll bring this home to you if I can make this night light enough. Don't cry, I'll bring this home to you if I can make this. Don't cry, I'll bring this home to you if I can make this night light enough. Don't cry, I'll bring this home to you. This is
Yeah.
the city of not sleeping, and the clocks are set by few. At this moment, from where I sit, none of it seems real. Don't cry, I'll bring this home to you if I can make this night light enough. Don't cry, I'll bring this home to you if I can make this night light enough to move. If I can make this, if I can make this, if I can
Yeah.
Joel's little indie heart is happy tonight.
Oh man. The thing is I mean, that's the heart of it, man. That's like Sunny Day Real Estate. That's like all that. I was thinking Thrice, like all those bands that kind of do that kind of, but there's just a sonic characteristic to that just it
Right.
warms my heart, you know?
Well, I'm glad it warms your heart.
Oh my gosh. I know it probably, I'm the thing that I'm most curious about is what Ryan thinks. Like the thing is I was like, that vocal line is so weird, man. Because it doesn't
Well,
even fit in the key, you know?
Well, I was just gonna say I enjoyed it. I liked it. The only gripe I have is during the chorus, and it's at the end of one of the vocal lines where he takes his vocal line and he starts going down, and creates a dissonance with the rest of the freaking
Oh, yeah.
instruments. And
Yeah.
I'm like, stop doing that. Like, quit. It's all great up until that line, and he's just like, "Da, da, 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 da." It's like, quit.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Golly. But no, I really enjoyed it. I did. I enjoyed that more than Death Cab.
Yeah.
As much as that pains this man, but
Oh no. I what I'd really like to do is at one point, and we do this when we get together, is play you like songs. I didn't even play anything off their first album because it's more like that. You know, kind of weird and raw and stuff like that. But hey, you know what? Another day, another time.
Yeah, that stuff what we just listened to reminds me of this.
I played this yesterday for Ireland.
You should recognize this, Ryan.
I know that. Yeah, I've heard this song before.
Because it's on Rock Band,
Rock
right?
Band. Oh yeah. Oh, this brings back good memories. Even though it makes me think of the X, but it brings back good memories.
I saw him live, man.
I've been waiting for this moment all my life. But it's not quite right.
I saw him do this song on tiny concerts.
Oh, nice.
And this real
So good.
Isn't it?
is impossible.
And of course, it's like 7 minutes long too, or something like that.
A little over 5,
So clear but so unheard.
but still.
I've been waiting.
So I just texted Burns. I just texted Burns our first listen tonight. This is what he texts back. Man, that's a great one with the horns.
That's
Absolutely love it. Well, hey, I hope that you've had a good time. I hope that you learned something. You know, the first part, putting an album together, that was a lot of fun. I think that we should maybe do it like Fisher said, next time we all have to cut each other's.
Yeah, whittle each other's
lists.
list down.
Yeah, and but you know, this has been a lot of fun. I hope that Death Cab, for those, get one more person to get them up to 2.4 million records sold. But this has been a lot of fun. And that first listen, geez, this throwback. So, you know, and man, go check out Silver Sun Pickups, that last song we just listened to. Lazy Eye, that's a great, you know, we talked about him in a couple weeks ago. But go check them out. Follow us, get on YouTube, get on all the different things that we're on. Rumble.
Spotify.
Yeah. What is it when
Apple
you
Podcast.
like something? Rumble, you rumble them.
Yeah. It's I think that's what it is. I'm not
Help
the
us
world's
find
expert
out
on
what this
Rumble,
crap
but
is. You know,
come on.
like, you know, we're old men. We need help from these
Yes,
younger
we
people.
do.
So let us know if there's something that you'd like to see. Hey, if you want to hear us, if you want us to subject Ryan to more Death Cab, which I would absolutely love, let us know. We'll do it. We're here for the people. But Fisher, for the people. So Fisher, you got some you had some good lists last week. What do you got going on this week? What are we listening to?
What are we listening to? man, you know this. So the last few days have been crazy and just personal stuff and whatnot. So I really haven't been watching a lot of YouTube. So I might shout out some former
Yeah, do it.
channels. But one that I am, because I don't know what it is, but I like watching vocal teachers react to popular music, because I like to hear what a trained vocalist thinks of maybe someone who's not. And the one that I've been watching lately is called the Fairy Voice Mother. And her
That's
most
awesome.
most recent one, just to kind of tie it into last week, her most recent one is her reacting to the live version of Love Hate Love by Alice in Chains. So go check her out. They all have it's really cool to watch different voice coaches or voice coaches react to the same song, just to hear what different people think of the same vocal. They're all always impressed, but it's interesting, I think, to hear what they have to say. And then it's been a while since I've shouted out this guy, but he's a drummer. Speaking of drum intros and whatnot, he's the guy that does like the Beatles hits in 5 minutes. And his name is, I want to make sure I get it right, Kai Smith. Check him out. I think I shouted him out a couple of months ago, but he's always got new stuff coming out. He did Capitol Records. I think it was like for their 50th anniversary. He did their top hits in like 8 minutes or something. His most his most recent is, hold on, let me pull up his channel so I make sure I get it right. Well, just because the one that's featured on YouTube is not always the most recent one.
No, it's just funny because it was like playing like music when you pull it up.
His most recent one is Weezer, and he does the Blue album in 1 minute.
Nice.
So there you go. Check out those two channels.
Awesome.
Nice. And we, like they said, we need help on Rumble, because I'm trying to figure out how a video on Rumble can have 4 or 5 views, but then have 37 rumbles.
Right.
Like, what does that mean?
I guess you get to like it more than once.
Like, I don't know what that means. So we need to know. But apparently, I may have already said this in a previous episode, but one of our most loyal fans has moved from YouTube over to Rumble only, and that would be my brother Scott. He is only watching us on Rumble now. So if you want to make that leap, head on over to Rumble, Spotify, Apple Podcast, all of that stuff. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook.
We're there.
We got it all. Hey, but you know what? We had fun. We'll make some more albums. We'll do some more TikTok list at some point, right? We'll do all the fun stuff. Until then, keep living, keep loving, keep listening, and as always, keep rocking.
I got to talk about Death Cab.
Yes, you did.
And watch you guys completely check out.
I was listening.
I thought we were gonna have to like give Ryan some no-dos or something.
No, it's okay.
Right on. I almost did this as the first listen. I'm glad I did what I did.
It is a good track too, though.
You know who this
Wait,
is?
I don't think I do. I like it. What is it?
This is More Chiba. More Chiba.
I was right. Jeez.
The song is Blood Like Lemonade.
I was like, that sounds like them, and I was like, nah, it can't be.
I love this band.
And they sound just like this live.
Oh, have you seen them live?
I saw a DVD of them playing live. It sounded just like this though.
She is. They kind of remind me of an upbeat.